Starts off with, in April 2024, USAID concluded that Israel was blocking aid to Palestinians in Gaza. But despite this, the next month in May, you told Congress, quote, "We do not currently assess that the Israeli government is prohibiting or otherwise restricting aid," which allowed continued weapons supply to Israel, which was overriding your own experts. You had opportunities to distance yourself and your administration from arming Israel, which has committed what leading Holocaust scholars and human rights agencies call a genocide. You rejected them and continued arming Israel. This is your legacy. How do you justify to the countless Palestinians, including thousands of children that died, from your decisions? And just to share the point, I'm going to read off the names of children who died in Gaza due to the actions. So these are people who are 1-year-old, killed before they could take their first steps. Ayla Ali Obeid, Salahuddin Abu Layla, Adam Warshaga, 1 year old, Jowd, and it goes on, thousands and thousands of names. How do you reconcile with this, and how do you reconcile with your legacy?
So, as we were talking about before, this is something that I grappled with and will continue to grapple with for as long as I can see into the future. Could we, should we have done things differently such that the suffering that people endured, the loss of the children that you just listed, and so many others, could have been averted? And the short answer is maybe yes. We had to make judgments. We had to make judgments in real time about how to try to get to a better place. We made those judgments. People will make their own judgments about what we did and what we didn't do. But let me just add a few things, because we had this conversation a minute ago, but let me add a few things to it. And my great friend Samantha's here, and we had this ongoing discussions in our own administration. On the question of the assistance that was getting or not getting to Palestinians in Gaza throughout 2024, I was on this every single day, literally every single day. And we had a series of reports come out suggesting that there was an imminent famine that was about to happen. And then the next report would say actually fewer people are in danger, even though people were leading terribly hard, difficult lives. Why that didn't just happen, it happened because every single day we were on the Israelis to try to get assistance in, to open more crossing points, to flood the zone. They did that profoundly inadequately. They did that in ways that were not the way I would like to have seen it done, but we got some of that done. When the report that you referred to came out, and this was the product of the so-called NSM, the National Security Memorandum, if you look at that report, it lays out a lot of the actions that Israel were taking that were of more than deep concern to us. And I think that report actually served a very useful function in motivating the Israelis to do better, not to do as much as they should have and as we would have wanted, but to do better. And at various points, the aid went up, the number of trucks going in went up, the distribution, even with the trucks going in, was a huge problem. Looting, criminality, et cetera, all difficult problems that are really hard to control for. But yes, of course, you couldn't be, and I wouldn't be human if I didn't ask myself every day, could we have done things differently? The one thing I want to suggest to you as well, and I mentioned this earlier, is I believe, and look, maybe I'm wrong, that the nature of the trauma in Israel, which is, there's no hierarchy of trauma. The trauma in Israel, the trauma among Palestinians, the same. The loss of a Palestinian life, the loss of an Israeli life, the same. But on the Israeli side, the trauma was such that I believe the determination across that society to take the actions that they took in Gaza was such that irrespective of what we did, they would have continued to do what they did. And cutting off arms, sure, that was an option, but I don't actually believe that, at least in the near term, it would have changed things. And I also believe it would have led to an even wider war as Israel's enemies, and they were multiple, jumped in, and that only would have extended the war in Gaza, not ended the war in Gaza. We thought that the best way to get to an end, to protect people, to help people, was to get to a ceasefire with hostages coming out and with aid going in. And, you know, I fully, more than respect, I empathize with people who felt this so deeply. I do remain with a question in my mind about why barely a word was spoken in all those months about Hamas, which was an actor too, and is responsible for so much of what happened. But yes, We all look at it. I certainly look at it and say, maybe we could have done it differently. Maybe we could have done better by the people. I wish we could have.